So yeah, I'm gonna share about a supernatural healing that God has done in my life. And so this was back in probably about March. Um, I was just going about my day. I was at the gym, and I went to the toilet. And when I went to the toilet, this is where it gets interesting. I do actually, I do. But what happened was, so the door, um, as I went into the cubicle, it fell off the hinge, and so I like tried to stop it, and I stopped it, but then it slipped out of my hands, and it went bang straight into my toe, and it was yeah, it was pretty painful. I should have. Did I? Well, I don't think we get. I didn't know if we got to that part. I can't remember. Um, but yeah, anyway, that happens, and so I was like, ow, and um, I was like, this is painful, and so I just went on about my day. I just did finish off my workout. I was like, I have to work out. I was getting ready to work out, so I had to do it, and so I did it, and it was coming towards the end of the day, and it was still painful, so I just left it. Um, and then the next day, I went to bed, woke up, and it was like very purple and stuff. So I was like, oh, okay. I don't remember too much else about what happens, but all I do know is I went to get it X-rayed, and then after getting it X-rayed, because I was had a lot of trouble walking around, and so I was like, I want to go to the hospital to the doctors, and I just want them to give me equipment that can help me to get around, so I can get back to work. Um, so I went to the hospital and uh, went to the emergency ward, and I was just waiting for them to check out with me. And so we got the X-ray done before that. And so as we went into as I finally got called up, I was still like limping around, chucking around. So I had to. They put me in those wheelchair thingies. So I was pushed all the way into an office, and it got it all checked out, and as they were bringing out the results from the scan, it was a hairline fracture, and I was like, "Does that mean it's broken?" And she's like, "Yep." I was like, "Fun fact, that's the first bone I've ever broken, and it was from a toilet door." um, so yeah, it was broken, and I was like, "Oh, cool." And I was like, I just want some equipment to help me get around. That's all I was there for. And the doctor said it would take about 6 to 8 weeks to recover. Took, yeah, 6 to 8 weeks to recover. And as soon as the doctor said that, I was just in a moment of unbelief. Like, I didn't, as what I mean by that is, I didn't believe what the doctor said. I was like, no, I'm not believing that. I have a supernatural God with supernatural healing powers, and I just stood on that. And so um, she gave me this moon boot, which helped me to walk around, and so I was able to use that. And she gave me some crutches as well. And then I was like, yay, I can now go back to work and do stuff. And she was saying, I was like, oh, am I able to drive? Because I was with mum when she took me to the hospital. And she was like, no, you're not allowed to drive. Because if you do get into an accident, it's going to cause like insurance issues and stuff like that because my reflexes aren't fast enough. But I'm like, I'm not going to be in an accident. uh, that's not going to happen to me. Because I have Jesus, the favor of Jesus. And so, because my left foot was broken, and our toe was broken, and I have a manual car, so there's a clutch that I got to use. And so that's what the doctor says, like, oh, what if I drive an automatic car? So that's like, same problem. I was like, well, I'm going to be fine. I'm not going to worry about that. So yeah, next day I was driving around, and I got the favor of God. I got nothing to worry about. And so I'm here today, so yeah. um, and so that was about, got that all sorted around Sunday when I was driving around. Saturdays when I came back from the hospital. And so it was only until Wednesday, so a couple of days later, Wednesday, that's my leg day, it's due, I got to get it in. And so I took the moon boot off, and I was like, oh yeah, I can walk around. And I was like, yeah, this is good, awesome. So I trained legs, I did everything, pain-free, and it was, yeah, just so awesome. So I was just praising God for that. And by the end of the week, we came up to Sunday again, and I was jumping around and came to share my testimony. I was like, oh, look at this, I can run around and jump around and stuff like that. And it was only 1 week after the toe was broken, and didn't have to wait 6 to 8 weeks. And I just want to give all glory and praise to God. We have the supernatural healing, and nothing is impossible to those who believe. So thank you, Jesus.